Good afternoon. Greetings, family and friends. My name is Dr. Jamal Moncur, and I'm the president of New Life Natural Vegetation Self Food Limited, situated here in beautiful Bahamas, New Providence. And we're streaming live on the live Facebook page and YouTube and other social media platforms. But for all of you in the Bahamas, in Freeport, Grand Bahama, wherever you may be that's tuning in, today we're going to be focusing on hypertension. So hopefully you can call right now, call your friends up, let everybody know. In about a few minutes, we're going to be introducing some really good things. We're going to have some fun today, but I just want people to be excited to know that there is hope. But before I get started, I want to say a special thank you, extend a special thank you to ALIV. This is the final segment in the three-part segment. The first was on autoimmune. Last week, we spoke about diabetes mellitus. This week, we're going to be focusing on hypertension, and that's what they call a silent killer. And I look forward to divulging some pertinent information, and hopefully, it provide equity, and the information will resonate and not ricochet. Again, I am the founder. My name is Jamal Moncur, the founder of New Life Natural. I'm an herbalist, a master herbalist, nutritionist, and a health coach, and my also consultant in naturopathic medicine. And my expertise is in nutrition, herbs, plants, and so we're gonna use nutrition and natural medicine to combat uh, basically all diseases through prevention and strengthening and fortifying the body. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Yes. So hypertension, as we know, is a silent killer. And in the Bahamas, we are not an exemption. We have been seeing increase of mortality. The quality of life has significantly been impacted. And I dare say that we are in dire straits if we don't make some corrective measures, take some corrective measures. And kudos again to ALIVE for taking the initiative uh, and the insight, and I dare say the courage to bring someone like myself that focus on alternative medicine to bring a different perspective as relates to preventative medicine and healing. Yes, so I guess in a few seconds we're going to start our video to get started. So call your friends, share the video, and let's get started. Yes, we're about to get started. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Janet lady, your name is Miss
Andrea Wilson.
Miss Wilson. Let's talk about these two products that you said has done wonders for you here at New
Yes.
Life.
The healing tonic is very good if you are lacking energy. It keeps you, I'm a teacher by profession, so I need something that's going to keep me energized for the students. So I use the healing tonic. It also keeps your blood pressure normalized. The sea moss I would put inside the smoothie. You can use it otherwise, but it also helps to keep you regular with using the bathroom. These are excellent products.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start. You just watched a video with a lady that is a school teacher. And she's been struggling with hypertension, and now she's getting results. So this is just evidence to show you that we're just not just talking, but there are ways for you to reduce your dependency on prescription medication. And you don't have to be taking drugs for the rest of your life. And that is why this show is so powerful. So we're going to get started right away. So again, this series is called Eat Well, Live Well. And this is the final segment. It's going to be called Hypertension. We're going to be focusing on. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to know about hypertension, firstly, is it don't come upon you poof magically. Lifestyle plays an important role, and through ignorance, a lot of the times, the onset of hypertension is because of self-infliction. We harm ourselves through ignorance, and so our diet, as we see, is high in salt or sodium, and so it's a recipe for hypertension. Sodium, elevated diet with sodium And a decreased diet of potassium, it leads to hypertension. And hypertension on a sustained basis, as a chronic ailment, uh, it can lead to heart attack, it can lead to stroke, kidney damage, and brain damage, because those the body's not designed for having all of that pressure running through those small capillaries and those arteries and those veins. That's elevated pressure damages the cells, and this is what causes stroke, heart attack, kidney. That's why a lot of persons with that can't control their high blood pressure, the fluctuation, it causes issues in their kidneys. The kidneys can't take all this up and down, this up and down. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next slide as we get started. So let's focus on minerals responsible for blood pressure regulation. This is important because we want to find out what can we eat. Essentially, that's what we all about with these segments. We want to educate you. We're giving you some tangible and some things that you can do right away to begin the process of reversing naturally this hypertensive state. Potassium, again, it manages not just hypertension, but also diabetes and boosts brain function. But let's go back. Let me just share something uh, here. Okay. Yeah. So iron, we know a lot of us are anemic, and a lot of the iron content in our body is leached out because of the food we're consuming, and the assimilation of iron, is not being done properly, efficiently. So we know that iron aids in the formation of hemoglobin and prevents anemia. And so that's readily found in a lot of food that we should be consuming. Magnesium treats high blood pressure, lowers anxiety and stress. And we know high blood pressure is also linked to stress. And it's also stress causes anxiety and paranoia, panic attack. And that is why exercise also is important. We spoke about that last week as one of the 6 doctors, because exercise releases those wonderful endorphins, serotonin, which is a happy um, part of our adrenaline system. But when we work out and we exercise, serotonin is a hormone that's released, and it's a happy hormone. It helps us to combat cortisol, which is a stress hormone, part of our adrenal system and our kidneys. So, cortisol, we need to reduce our level. Cortisol is good when it's needed short term, but sustained is not good, and that's why it's good to manage your stress. Phosphorus reduce muscle weakness and correct sexual weakness, because we find issues with hypertension is also linked to low libido and also erectile dysfunction. Zinc uh, manages skincare, eczema, acne. It heals the wounds and night blindness. And this is particularly good for persons with hypertension and diabetes. And then calcium, it boosts the bone health. As we know, the bone is made from calcium. It relieves insomnia and improves dental health, because we know the teeth also is made from calcium, same structure as the bones. And then below you'll see some things that you can consume that has potassium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and calcium, like the olives, natural olives. You can get potassium, phosphorus, zinc, and even iron. And then the chickpea is a good source of calcium, zinc, and the chickpea also has a high concentration of iron as well. And then we have spinach, and spinach is part of the dark leafy green, which we're going to get into a few slides down. The dark leafy greens that also going to give you some nice potassium. It also have iron. Any dark leafy green has iron in it. It has magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and it has calcium. And the same thing as the iron. So let the food be the medicine, and let the medicine be the food. That's very, very critical. We're treating you with medicine. And so again, we look at high salt intake. As you see the chart here, the dark blue indicate our intake ratio of salt, and we can see that is really, really extreme. We're consuming too much table salt or too much processed or refined salt that's been heated into silica. And when we consume this salt that has been heated, it's like glass, and it scratches our arteries, and it links us to more condition, cholesterol, that cause atherosclerosis and causes heart failure. And also it elevates your blood pressure because it causes fluid retention. So to combat that, again, potassium plays a key role. So definitely we need to reduce our natural salt intake. So, vascular dysfunction, pathological left ventricle hypertrophy, and these are things that, again, is linked to high salt intake, renal dysfunction, and impair NA handling, again, from high salt intake, skin deposition, inflammation, and immune cell activation, impaired cerebral vascular regulation and altered sympathetic outflow, potential reduction in bone mineral density and content. And that's what salt does. Salt is good. You need sodium. You can't live without it because your sweat is salt. When you cry, that's salt. Your semen is salt. Your blood is salt. Salt assimilate minerals and allow minerals to enter the cells. So you can't live without salt, but it has to be the correct salt. And that is why the sea moss is so important, because the sea moss and sea vegetable naturally has natural salt, right? Natural sodium that helps to sustain life and electrifies and alkaline the body. That's very critical. So we look at the Himalayan salt, and we see that the Himalayan salt, the Celtic salt, the pond salt, because I don't want people to think I'm only promoting foreign stuff, but I'm from Cat Island, and we have the salt pond that strikes in Agua, different places on the island. We have the salt pond. These are pond salt are that heavily laden in natural minerals, and you don't need a lot of them. They season the food, give it flavor, and they have all of those wonderful minerals that is still intact. So let's look at the difference between common, refined, processed table salt versus Himalayan salt or a natural based salt. So we see that the common salt, the mineral are lost due to the purification process, can cause high blood pressure when consumed in excess. Not as flavorful as pink Himalayan salt. Iodine is artificially added. It includes anti-caking compounds. Now, as we look in contrast at the natural salt, we see that natural salts contain all the essential minerals and electrolytes, which is good for maintaining healthy balance of fluids in the body, prevents edema, promotes restful sleep, regulates water content, has air cleansing properties, promote healthy pH levels in the body, contain natural iodine, so it doesn't have to be added. It improves circulation, it stimulates the circulatory system, and it's a good source of magnesium, and magnesium is good for the nerves, pain, uh, the central nervous system, anything to do with the nerve. You need magnesium for that, and the muscles. So let me just see. Okay, yeah, I haven't slided yet. Just making sure. Okay, so some ways to help control blood pressure. We eat a heart healthy diet that includes potassium and fiber. Again, the food becomes the medicine. If we eat food in season, food native, like right now you have sapodilly, you have a lot of green vegetation like the wild spinach, the wild callaloo now is flourishing. You get potassium from the callaloo naturally. You have zinc, magnesium, iodine in some of these plants that comes from the ocean. So we have access to these. It's just a matter of us identifying these wonderful plants. Fiber is very important as well because it creates an efficient bowel system. Uh, Drink plenty of water. Coconut water, preferably the green coconut, is good, but drink a lot of coconut water because coconut water has potassium, it has zinc, it has calcium. It also helps to balance your electrolytes. Exercise, because exercise brings the stress level down. And again, a lot of persons have a stressful job, not getting rest, bad relationship, finances, any number of reasons for stress, and this can elevate your blood pressure. Oftentimes, persons have what's called the white coat syndrome, where every time they go to the doctor office, just being there, the uncertainty, their anxiousness, it causes their pressure to elevate. And as soon as they go home and relax, the pressure comes right back down. Smoking tobacco, cigarettes, and these caffeinated things, especially cigarettes, it impede the lung function, the lung capacity, and it create tata and all of these build up bioaccumulation in the lungs. And so it interferes with the body ability to receive, assimilate, uh, uh, and distribute oxygen throughout the body. And this can impact our the functionality of the body, and causes elevated blood pressure as well. So also we say limit alcohol consumption to one drink a day for women and one day for men, and just being conservative. Right now we have a society where recreation is reckon creation. And then the recommended RDA is um, the recommended daily allowance would be the limit salt consumption to less than 1,500 milligrams per day. Try to avoid stress again and again. Exercise, aromatherapy, you can go to chiropractor. Practical things like that can help reduce the stress level. To get a massage, that's really good. Maintain a healthy body weight. We find that persons obese or even underweight can have fluctuation in their widely fluctuation on a daily basis with their blood pressure levels. So once you eat these food and follow the diet regime, anyway, your weight will naturally be regulated. Regular detox, we talk about the CMOS and chelation from New Life that help to detox and prevent buildup and accumulation of toxins. So hypertension again, uh, diet rich foods, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains that gives you the roughage that prevents the buildup. Use lemon, olive oil, and herbs instead of salt to flavor dishes. Because olive oil has all of the essential fatty acids, but make sure it's refined olive oil. It have not refined, sorry, virgin. Make sure it's not refined. Make sure it is virgin olive oil because that is the olive oil that has all of the essential nutrients in it. Stay away from oils in the clear bottles because light is the greatest danger to oil and it creates free radical oxidative stress. It puts strains on the liver, and this is free radicals that causes cancer. And because refined oil has been stripped from its natural source and its powerful form of antioxidants, which would be vitamin E, vitamin C, has been stripped away from the oils, seed oil, uh, based on the process, the manufacturing process, where heat is used during the pressing, which causes what we call deodorization, degum. And this is where extreme heat up to almost 500 degrees Fahrenheit is used. And this changed the molecular structure of the oil, where it become hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, saturated, and this is basically what causes cancer, diabetes, hypertension to develop in the body. It's a whole show on that alone, on just on oil. But we really in trouble frying food and stuff like that. So reduce the stress again. We talk about that. Hypertension improves by eliminating excess salt again. And so you don't have to add salt to your food if you have all of these wonderful, uh, potent vegetables that naturally have the flavor in them. Salt, pungent or spicy, sour, bitter, sweet. Those are the flavor that brings balance to the plate. So again, the coconut water is going to give you the potassium, and the okra is going to give you the zinc. It's going to give you the iron, the manganese phosphates. It's very, very good. It's a mucilage, that's why it's slimy. So it helps and aids in digestion. It's also a strong, strong form of fiber that helps to keep your bowel system efficient. So okra is one of those powerful plants that you're going to find that's going to give you a punch for your dollar. And so try to incorporate dark leafy greens. We in the Bahamas here, so there's we shouldn't go to the food store as our primary source of sourcing uh, dark leafy greens. There's so much: the shepherd needle, the callaloo, the wild spinach, the Spanish thyme, and I could go on and on. These things grow wild in our environment. We just need to identify them. And these dark leafy greens, essentially, they are the food that sustains life because they has the phytonutrients, the antioxidants, they have the fiber, they have the roughage, the iron, the minerals, and it's very important. Okay, so let's go to the next slide here. And so ginger, being a pungent flavor, it helps with circulation, the digestive process. It has antioxidants as well. It has vitamin C, it has zinc. Ginger is very, very good for digesting and helps in to reduce high blood pressure. Also, seeded watermelon and watery fruits, they give us a high source of magnesium, potassium, iron. They also balance the electrolytes, the water level, and in so doing, they are important in reducing blood pressure as well. A mushroom has a natural B12. It has natural zinc, copper, and so this helps with the central nervous system. This helps to strengthen the blood system, oxygenation of the blood, which in terms, when there's a lot of oxygen, it alkalines the system and essentially bring down the blood pressure levels. So incorporate mushrooms into your diet. And of course, quinoa, my favorite grain, is very good. You're talking about the food being the medicine. Quinoa have iron, it has potassium, it has a lot of protein, which is very important, the building blocks of life. Quinoa can be used as a substitute for white rice. It's a natural grain. You can actually make milk from quinoa. You can do a porridge for the kids in the morning. You can experiment and create so many different dishes with quinoa. It also is a good source of magnesium as well. But quinoa is known for its protein and its iron content, and it's very, very versatile. It's a super grain, and this is one of the grain that we should become associated with. Remember, your grain content should be 5%. In the Bahamas, we use 50%. We have on our plate, we have rice that takes up the whole plate. We should Rice should be 5% if we do eat it, and 50% should be vegetables. So we are doing it wrong. Okay. And then we have the different variety of squash. We have the acorn squash, the yellow squash, the butternut squash, the spaghetti squash. These are wonderful sources of beta carotene. Beta carotene is very important, very, very important source of flavonoids and antioxidants that helps to strengthen and prevent oxidation and cancer cells because it is so potent in neutralizing and regulating the system. Uh, Very, very good. I try to incorporate squash or some type of vegetables into the daily routine, not just of me and my family, but into the restaurant at New Life Natural. Okay, so vegetables is very, very good. We just use squash as an example. Very, very good for roughage and essential nutrients that essentially you need. Avocado provide the natural oils. It has zinc, it has iron, it has manganese, selenium. I mean, it's a super fruit. The seed can be used, the leaves can be used for tea. It's such a powerful, potent plant. Uh, the zinc content is amazing. It has calcium. These are super, super plants, and that's why they grow season. You should not be eating avocado all through the year. Avocado is something that you should consume um, seasonally when it's available by nature. And then we have the my favorite fruit, the sugar apple. And the sugar apple again is a source of calcium. It has iron and it has magnesium as well. It's a natural laxative, so it's heavily laden in fiber. And by the way, the avocado have natural oil in it. It also is heavily laden in essential fatty acids, which is very, very important. It has LA and LNA acids, which is very, very important. Essential fatty acids, essential to life. So it's a very good source. And then, of course, we have nuts, the Brazil nuts, walnuts, and then, of course, you have the flax seeds, which is a super grain. Flax seeds and flaxseed oil should be in every single person's daily routine. 2 tablespoons of flaxseed a day. Very important for high blood pressure because it's going to remove all of the malnourished state of your body and allow the body to regulate itself. Very, very important. Of course, we have the sea moss, which has a list of 92 minerals. All of those minerals. The sea moss also is a natural diuretic, so it removes all of the buildup of fluid, the dead cells of the body. It burns fat because, as we discovered early in the stream, obesity or overweight contributes to high blood pressure. So if we can keep our pressure levels regulated and our fat, the muscle content ratio balanced, proportion to our weight, our body type, whatnot. The sea moss just is something that is a superfood because it renovates the body, it strengthens the body, it fires the body up. It does so much things. The skin, the hair, the nails, the eyes, the gut. I mean, you can use it internally, externally. It's just a superfood. So the sea moss, make sure I go to No Life and get your sea moss. Give it to the kids. You can put it in your ginger tea in the morning. You can put it in your smoothies. I mean, it's just so amazing. Energize. You're feeling weak. You're feeling drained, lethargic. You needed a supplement to put in your to go to the gym. Incorporate sea moss. And then the dynamic trio, the chelation, liquid plumber, Drano, black gold, whatever you want to call it. But it has a high concentration of fiber, but it's what we call a cellular, intracellular therapy. It goes deep into the cells and it cleanses and scrubs you and send you to the bathroom. You may need to get some Febreze, put on your seatbelt and your helmet with that chelation because it's going to clean you out. Not like a laxative that merely just runs you and removes essential minerals of the body, important minerals, but it adds potassium as it cleans the body out. Of course, the sea moss, as I just said, and the healing tonic is very good. It's one of the most potent tools in our arsenal, uh, not just in the Bahamas, but we've been shipping these products all around the world. But it's a very good product, and I don't want to sound like a salesman, trying to sell snake oil, but the healing tonic has saved a lot of life. It's been amazing, amazing product. So if you have high blood pressure, if you're on medication, these will not contraindicate. As a matter of fact, these are food items, and it is said by your general practitioner to take your medicine with food. So you are taking your medicine with food, and the healing tonic is very, very good for high blood pressure and also diabetes. It's very good. It strengthens the liver. It helps circulation. It regulates the blood pressure by oxygenating the blood. Man, it's a good product. It's bitter, but it's good. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I want to take a few questions. Um, we can look at some of the questions. I'd like to answer a few questions. Um, I'm gonna miss you guys, and hopefully, with a live, we can do some more of these wonderful sessions. So, Erica, Ms. Erica Brown, thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. If there's any other questions, we're gonna take questions. No questions. Uh, you guys want to go and find out more about New Life Natural, and you want to book a consultation? We can type it in the screen again. It's push. Type that there. Push medicine. Man at gmail.com. Yeah, push medicine man at gmail.com if you have more information. As relates. Okay, thank you, Alive. As it relates to more information on hypertension, whatever disease is. And I just want to leave you guys with this as we wait for questions to come in if there's any. I want to leave you with this. Remember, it don't matter how long you've been taking medication. It don't matter what the ailment is. There's always hope. There's always hope. As long as there's life, there is hope. I can tell you of an instance where there was a lady that was taking medication for high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol for 27 years. That's over 2 decades. And in 3 weeks to 3 months during that time frame, working with her physician, her medication was significantly reduced. Her pressure came down 12 points. And now she's off medication for high blood pressure. She's off medication for cholesterol. She's off medication for diabetes. So the question is, what were we able to do to assist this woman in 3 months that her doctors couldn't do in 27 years? It's simple. You address the cause of the problem, causation. That's very important. And so if you are eating food that is harming you, then we need to make steps to begin corrective measures. If you're sedentary, meaning you're just a couch potato all day from work and you home, there's no stimulation in your muscles. The lymphatic system is activated through exercise, through movement, through resistance. And so if you never resist your muscles, if you never put pressure on your muscles and exercise, those men that's watching me that have high blood pressure, you can do 20 push-ups a day. Start with 20 push-ups a day. And that will significantly increase your mood, increase your blood circulation, strengthen your muscle, strengthen your posture, strengthen your core. These are very powerful steps. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you on this. In the Bahamas, we consume too many fried foods. We overlook the deleterious effect that bad oils, fat, greasy food is having on our health. And it directly correlates with the high incident or the proliferation of cancer. One time ago, cancer was a rare thing. Now it's rare not to get cancer. One time ago, cancer was something that happened every once in a while, every blue moon. And the ones that did happen was prostate cancer, you know, not every now and then breast cancer, you know. But now you have like rare cancer now. We are seeing cancer that like 1 in a million or 1 in 10,000 people get. We are seeing these with frequency. And in my research as a naturopathic practitioner, as someone that's studying natural medicine, what I've seen is that based on the research and the data, that when you eat fried food and especially fat that has been stored, a lot of these fast food places, they don't change the fat. And so those fat that are heated over and over, it causes toxic substances to develop that has not been researched by science. So every time you heat up that fat more and more, every time you fry your food or you expose your oils to light, or you're not familiarized with the right type of oil to use. And by the way, you should be only using virgin oil, virgin olive oil. Olive oil is the only oil that's been processed, and hemp oil that hasn't had this process of hydrogenation or uh, removal of the essential minerals, essential nutrients from these oils. And so when you consume oils, basically, you are creating free radicals in the body, you're harming your body. It's very, very critical. And when you look at what happens just during the last holiday here in the Bahamas, um, I've been seeing people posting pictures with hot cross buns made with white flour. And in that hot cross bun itself, they have bad oils in that. And they glaze it with white sugar. You see the white glaze on top of it. And if that's not bad enough, they use fish, because that's our tradition, and the fish is placed into bad cancer causing oil. You know, we don't put that fish in a frying pan until the frying pan is smoking so it don't stick. But when that fish is burned to charcoal, that fish is not done. That fish is done nutritionally and your food is done. So basically, we are only eating shells. There's no nutritional content in the food we are eating. So hopefully this series was of edification and you guys received the information. Let's keep each other in prayer. Let's continue to do our part to empower ourselves, to ensure that we are following a healthy lifestyle. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to the kids, we owe it to the community, and we owe it to our country to be a healthy, productive country. I want to say thank you to ALIV for the wisdom, the insight, for doing this, and hopefully we look forward at New Life Natural. I look forward to doing more of these and partnershiping with ALIV. So thank you, ALIV, and thank you, you guys, for listening to this. My family, my new found family, thank you. I love you. God bless you all.